Hey y'all, welcome to the weekend edition of the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast, where we tackle all those mindset issues, fears, and obstacles that are holding you back from achieving your online dream. Every week, I go live 2 or 3 times in the Flipped Lifestyle Facebook group and share tips, strategies, and tactics for overcoming all the things that are holding our members back. Today's podcast is a recording of one of my recent Facebook Lives. Did you know you could join the Flipped Lifestyle Facebook group absolutely for free and attend all of my live mindset trainings? Not only do you get to listen in, but you can ask questions on the trainings and you can connect with hundreds of other family-focused entrepreneurs from around the world. All you have to do is go to flippedlifestyle.com/FL group. That's FLIPPED lifestyle.com/FL group, and we'll get you added into the Facebook community today. You can also open your Facebook app and type in Flipped Lifestyle in the search bar, and you'll find the group that way as well. I can't wait to connect with you inside the Flipped Lifestyle Facebook group. I know you're going to love it, and I know you're going to love today's show. So without further ado, let's get on to today's podcast. Welcome to the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast, where life always comes before work. We're your hosts, Shane and Jocelyn Sams. We're a real family that figured out how to make our entire living online. And now we help other families do the same. Are you ready to flip your life? All right, let's get started. Hello, everybody. Shane Sams here from the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast and flippedlifestyle.com here for a free training all about email marketing. We're going to be talking about email marketing for beginners today. People just starting out with their online business, people maybe just getting into internet marketing, just getting into selling things online. Going to talk about how Jocelyn and I, my wife and I, built our entire business just with email marketing. We still make 90-something% of our income from email marketing. It's how we started out 7 years ago when we first started our online business. Email marketing was the foundation of everything we did, and it's still the foundation of every single thing we do. So I want to tell you a little bit about how Jocelyn and I grew our business with email marketing, and I'm going to give you 3 really important strategies that you need to focus on if you're just starting out with email marketing, if you're trying to grow your email list, if you're trying to make more money using email marketing. I'm going to give you 3 strategies that you can use right now to set up a business all based on email marketing. It is the best way to make money online. It is the best way to make an income from home. And I'm going to teach you how we do it tonight. Okay. Now, for those of you who may not be familiar with Flipped Lifestyle, I am Shane Sams. My wife, Jocelyn, and I host a podcast called the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast. And we teach other families how to use their God-given talents, God-given experiences, God-given abilities to create income on the internet so they can change their family's future. We are former school teachers who started online businesses back in around 2012, and we were able to quit our full-time jobs in 2013, and we have been self-employed ever since. Flipped Lifestyle is not the only thing we do. Jocelyn and I own multiple companies, multiple online businesses, and every single one of them are based all on email marketing. Okay. Now, if you're not from the South and you're not familiar with me, you know I am from Southeast Kentucky. So I talk funny, y'all, and you might have to slow me down every once in a while. If you don't understand some of the words that I'm saying that are coming out of my mouth, you can just ask me in the chat box over here to repeat myself. But make sure you pay attention. Don't confuse dialect for intellect, y'all. Y'all might miss something important. And really excited about this. This is one of my favorite things to talk about is email marketing. This is a huge topic. It is a complicated topic. It is something that scares people to death, especially in the beginning of their online business journey. And it's something really near and dear to my heart. If you see all these books over here, I have tons of books about business, tons of books about copywriting, tons of books about making money online. But I spend the vast majority of my time reading about email marketing and copywriting and making emails work for me, helping me make money with email marketing. I love email marketing. It's the most passive form of business that you can run if you base it on email marketing. It's the easiest way to reach people and market people. Everybody's got an email address. And I absolutely love to talk about email marketing. But I want to stress to you at the very beginning of tonight's training, so I get our expectations clear. This is a vast topic. All right. We have tons of courses on this. I've read tons of books about this. There's no way I can teach you everything about email marketing here tonight. Okay. But I'm going to help you with the basics. I'm going to help you set a strong foundation. I'm going to help you create a framework to where your email marketing systems, your email marketing, the business that you're growing can bloom from that foundation. And later on tonight, after when we get to the end of the call, I'm going to take a Q&A so that anybody's got any questions, I'll follow up with you. I want to make sure I answer as many questions as I can tonight. And I'm going to show you where you can get more help about email marketing at the end of tonight's training. Okay. All right. So let's talk. Let's get this going. Let's get this started. Let's talk a little bit tonight about email marketing. I'm going to tell you how we got started email marketing. Back in 2012, I wanted to quit my job. I wanted to build an online business. And Jocelyn was with me. We were talking about it and we were dreaming about it. And we were like, well, how do we do this? How do we make money online? And the first people that we followed online started talking about email marketing and email lists and their audience and all this stuff. And we realized like that was the path. That's the fastest path to making money online is get someone's email address and send them an email that sells them something. They click a link. They click a buy button, you've got money, they've got a product. That's it. That's the whole system. All we had to do was build an audience and get their emails. But here's the problem. When we started out, we had no audience. Like nobody was paying attention to us in anything we were doing. We had no email list. So we had an idea, right? Jocelyn was an elementary school librarian, and she wanted to create lesson plans for every day of the year. And she wanted librarians to pay her monthly to send them lesson plans, right? That was her idea. We would take all of these lesson plans. She was a librarian. She had experience. She was making all of these things go, and she wanted to sell those lesson plans to other elementary librarians. But no elementary librarians knew about Jocelyn. No elementary librarians knew about her lesson plans. Nobody knew about this idea. We didn't have an audience, so we had to go out first, and we had to create this audience. So Jocelyn would go around and search for forums where librarians were talking. She would follow hashtags on Twitter to see what librarians were talking about. She would do reach outs and contact people and make connections and look through her network of librarians, look for conferences, and she slowly, ever so slowly, started getting a little bit of an audience to come to her blog, elementarylibrarian.com. But an audience isn't what we need. You can't email an audience because they're just coming to your website. They're just traffic. And we had this trickle of traffic. We had to be able to offer these librarians something so they could sign up for our email list. So Jocelyn created some free lesson plans, and she gave them out. If you put your email in, she sent you a free plan. Now we had their email. Now we had them on an email list, and we could start email marketing these people. We could start sending them freebies. We could start sending them sales pitches. We could start asking them to give us money so that we could send them products, send them these lesson plans. And it took us 3-4 months to start piecing together a list. And when I said we started out with no list, well, it wasn't much bigger after those first 3 or 4 months. Somehow through hook and crook and claw and scrap, we built an email list of about 200 to 250 people when we launched Jocelyn's online business, elementarylibrarian.com. When we put those lesson plans out there on the internet for sale to buy. So we had this really little list. I mean, that's only 250 people, 250 people on the list, 250 librarians on the list. And Jocelyn said, hey, let's get ready to go. Let's launch this thing. Let's see if anybody buys it, even though the list is small. It doesn't take a big list, right? We sent this email out. 250 people saw it. Probably about half of them opened it, right? Probably about 100, 125 people. And when Jocelyn sent out her very first email, the first email that ever had anything for sale, she made $2,500, over $2,500 on the very first email she sent. Now, she put some work into that. She had to roll up her sleeves. She had to go build that list person by person, and she had to scrap until she got those 250 people. And when she launched her product, the crazy thing was, it was a year of lesson plans. She only had a month done. So she even said, hey guys, I've got a month of these lesson plans done, but if you go ahead and sign up, I'll send you the first month and I'll keep making them month after month after month going forward. And she had a bunch of people buy, and we made $2,500. Now remember, when Jocelyn and I started online, we were school teachers in Southeast Kentucky. right? We brought home about $2,500 each a month. Like that was our take home pay. We were only making about $2,500 each. And in one email, we made as much money off that digital product as we made in a month of our take home pay at our full-time jobs. We knew we were onto something. There was something to this email marketing. There was something to this. So we kept scrapping and building the audience. And, the next month we made another $2,500. And then the next month we made another $3,000. And it kept growing, $3,100, $3,500, $5,000. And it just kept, as the audience kept growing and our email list kept going and we kept getting better and better at email marketing, the money that we were bringing in every single month from our digital products, from our memberships, kept growing as well. And in July of 2013, just around a year after we launched that very first product with our email marketing, we were able to make $15,000 in a single month just from emails, guys. We would send out an email on Monday, remind them on Wednesday, close it on Friday, and boom, people bought our products all through emails. The next month in August of 2013, just from email marketing, we did not run any ads at this time. Everything was organic and clawing and going out and building an audience and getting people on our list and offering people freebies so they would sign up for our email list. In August of 2013, we made $36,000, 100% from email marketing. And that was the month that we decided to quit our jobs. So we went in there on September 27, 2013. We quit our jobs and we went full-time online as email marketers selling information products, right? And 100% of the reason that we were able to do that we were able to replace our income, we were able to build an online business that was stable and predictable and successful. 100% of the reason that we went in and were able to quit our job was because of email marketing. And we have been doing this now for almost it's actually over 7 years. We're going into our 8th year in online business. Our first time we ever did anything online was 2012. We quit our jobs in 2013. We've been self-employed ever since. And everything we do revolves around email marketing. Over 90% of our income comes from emails. The other 10% comes from personal connections, right? So 90% of our income, almost everything we do every week, I sit down every week and I think, what am I going to do this week? What emails am I going to send? What am I going to sell? Everything is based on the list, okay? All right, now, I'm going to go in. If you guys have any questions, I talk fast. I get it. Go ahead and hit the Q&A button. There's a Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. If you got a question over on Facebook, you can drop that in over there. What's up, Joe? See my boy Joe Nicoletti in the house. See Alicia over here. Hey, Jeanette, go ahead and put your questions either over here on Facebook or you can drop it in right here on the chat in the webinar. And I'll be happy to answer those questions. I won't be able to stop because I don't stop until I run out of air, and I don't run out of air for a while. So I'm going to just keep going. I'm going to teach and train and give you my best strategies for beginners for email marketing. And then I'll answer your questions afterwards. I already see one question coming in. So go ahead and put your questions in as you go, okay? All right, what's up, Doug? I see you there, brother. All right, so let's talk real quick. Now, that's our story. That's my story about how we used email marketing to make millions of dollars online, to quit our jobs, and to become and stay self-employed for the past 7 years. But some of you may be asking, why emails? Email is an old technology. It's been around for years. There's all this fancy stuff now that we have, like webinars and Zoom and training and Facebook. I see you over here on Facebook. Why emails? Why do we focus so much on emails when there's so many other of these shiny objects? Well, from our experience being here 7 years in the online space, which is an eternity in the technology world, right? We've seen lots of fads come and go. We've seen bots. We've seen social media marketing. We've seen this. We've seen that. But the concrete foundation, the fundamental technology that makes every single other thing work is email. Think about social media. You can't log in to Facebook without your email address. What's the first thing that Twitter and Facebook ask you? They ask you for your email address. Isn't that a little strange? You ever thought about that? I signed up for Disney Plus last week, right? This new streaming service. Anybody else sign up for Disney Plus? Tell me if you've been watching some Star Wars and some Mickey Mouse over the past couple days. I have, because I signed up for Disney Plus. And guess what they asked for? The first thing, they didn't ask for my credit card. They didn't ask for my name. They asked for my email address. What do you do to sign up for Amazon? Everything you order, your receipts, they go to your email address, right? Any app that you sign up for, what's the first thing they ask for? Your email address. Email is fundamental technology. It is the backbone of everything we know how the internet works, and it's going to be here for a long, long time. So when Jocelyn and I are pushing our chips in, when we're betting on what technology we think is going to work, we go for the stalwart. We go for the foundation of it all. We don't want to do the fads. We don't want to chase the new things that everybody's talking about. We want to talk about the one thing that runs everything, and that's email. So that's why we use email marketing, because it works. And not only is it a fundamental technology, it's going to give you the best result of any other technology. You know, ads, if you get an ad to get a 1% click-through rate, you're lucky, right? But you can get 10, 20, 30, 40% open rates on your emails, and people are going to see that. Think about how fast you swipe through your Facebook news feed, right? But you don't when you check your email. You look and you read the subject line and you see if it interests you, and you click open and you click links. Email has incredible engagement rates when you compare it to social media. So it's not only the fundamental technology that runs everything else on the internet, right? It's also the best thing we have to reach out to people and to get them to engage with us. And I'm going to ask you this. Who here has checked their email address? Have you checked your inbox today? Who's checked their inbox today? Who's checked it in the last week? I would be willing to bet that 90% of the people that are watching that training, someone said, I'm actually about to after this call. Oh, yeah. It's all right. Like, everyone's checking email. 1, 2. Lynn Ross, she says, constantly. Brandon says, I probably check my email 100 times a day, right? Maria says several times a day. Exactly. And everybody is checking their email just like you are. It is indispensable, right? It is the indispensable technology that we have available to us today. And until something comes better, I'm going to stick with email marketing. That's where all the money is. That's where we make it happen, okay? So the real question is, how can you guys, beginners, or maybe you are in the game, maybe you're selling stuff online and you want to grow your audience, you want to make more money, you want to have better marketing, right? How can you use email marketing to grow your business, to change your family's future, just like me and Jocelyn did, right? So I'm going to give you 3 strategies that I want to talk about, 3 focus areas. These are really big picture, really general, wide swath kind of things, but I really want you to think about these 3 things deeply, because all of your tactics are going to come out of these 3 strategies. If you don't do these 3 things, you're probably not going to have successful email marketing. You're probably not going to be able to make money with your emails. You're probably not going to be able to go out there and build the business that you want, because you're going to be getting things out of order. Okay, so these are the 3 big things that I think about every single week in our business. All right, so the first strategy, okay, and I love to play a little game on my trainings, on my live trainings. I don't have time to stop and outline and check everything. So, you know, you're already writing questions in your Q&A. I see some people talking to each other in the chat. You want to click where it says to, and you want to put all panelists and attendees, right? All attendees, right, in the chat. But help me keep everybody on pace. When I say a big strategy, somebody outline that for me. Somebody put that in the comment box so that we've kind of got like a running organizational structure here. Fred, I'm looking at you. Help me out, Fred. All right, but anybody else? Maria, you can help him too. Anybody wants to help, keep that in order for me. Just tell me the big strategies. All right. So strategy number 1 to great email marketing, right, especially for beginners, is you have to focus on audience. Strategy number 1, audience. Remember that word. I got 3 big words and they all start with odd, okay? A-U-D. So audience. Audience is the number 1 thing you got to focus on, because your audience is how you build your list, right? When Jocelyn and I first started out, we had no audience, right? I told you that. We had no email list. Jocelyn had to go out and figure out where her perfect customer hung out. And she had to go out and build relationships with them. She had to create things for them. She had to go let them discover her so that she could ask them later to join her list. Okay? You've got to be able to reach out to your audience and build some form of audience, right? Maybe they listen to a podcast. Maybe they read your blog. Maybe they follow you on social media, right? Maybe they watch your YouTube channel, but you've got to build an audience. Now, you don't need a big audience, right? We had probably, I don't know, a few hundred people paying attention to Jocelyn and maybe 250 to 300 people that actually were on the list, right? So we didn't have a huge audience, but you do have to build an audience, and then you have to filter some of those people onto your list. So the question is, how do you build an audience? All right. How do you build an audience online when you don't have an audience? All right. The first thing you have to do is you've got to be really consistent with content. Content is what drives the list. If you create content consistently, you will grow an email list eventually, right? You have to go out and you create content. It's not about ads and it's not about promotion yet. The first thing you've got to do is create consistent content. Now, there's only 3 kinds of content you can create: video, audio, and text. That's it. There's nothing else you can do on the internet except slap a picture on a blog post, right? Video, audio, and text. So maybe you could start a YouTube channel. Don't tell me that sounds hard, because my son has a YouTube channel. He's got 500 followers on TikTok. He's got more TikTok followers than I've got. And he did a YouTube video yesterday for his fishing playlist, right? He recorded it on his iPod and he uploaded it in 10 minutes. That's all he did. So you can make a YouTube channel if you really wanted to do some video, right? If you wanted to do audio, it's easier than ever to make a podcast. You can download the app Anchor and you could start a podcast tomorrow. You talk in it and you press a big button that says publish. Not hard, right? Even blogging has even become simpler, because you could literally start a Facebook page. You could literally do an Instagram. You could start a Twitter account, and that's where you write. So if you like to write and share pictures, there's plenty of people making tons of money with nothing but Instagram and Facebook pages and social media channels, okay? Creating content is the easiest thing we do. Anyone who typed in the chat today, anyone who typed in the comment box, you created some content, right? If you've ever sent a video to your kids on your phone, guess what? You can send a video to Facebook or YouTube just as easy, right? So consistently creating content, and then focusing on where your avatar hangs out. I reached out to a lot of people on social media, right? A Twitter account is free. You can go sign up for a Twitter account tonight, and you can start searching for things, and you can start following people and connecting with people that are in your space. When I launched my football playbooks, I did not have an audience. I did not have anybody following me. I had no football coaches who knew who I was. So what I had to do was I had to go to where they hung out, which was Twitter. And then I would sit and scroll through the Twitter feed. I would type in football coach, and I would scroll through, and anybody that looked like a football coach, if they had a picture and they were on the sideline or they had their arm around a guy with a football, I would friend them and I'd reach out to them and I'd send them a message. And I would go find forums, message boards, anywhere where people were talking about football, and I would talk about football. So you can go out and build an audience if you'll create content and then put your content in front of your people where they're hanging out. A lot of people I see try to put the cart before the horse, right? They go focus on their email marketing, and they go focus on building these cool things and playing with the tech and all this other nonsense. And they don't realize that your email list comes from your audience. Audience, email list, sales. That's how it works. That's the only way it works. That's the only way it ever will work. So the first strategy you got to do is come up with a plan for building an audience. All right. Strategy number 2. You with me, Fred? You with me, Fred? Got strategy number 2 here. Got a lot of great questions popping in over here in the Q&A. Got a live Q&A coming up for email marketing here in a little bit. If you got any questions, go ahead and put them in right now, and I'll get to them in just a few minutes. All right. The first strategy was focus on your audience. The second is focus on your autoresponders. All right. This is a big thing that we did not do right in the beginning. We didn't realize that constantly doing everything in real time was a bad idea. And we finally discovered that we have the technology to batch and schedule out autoresponders ahead of time. So what is an autoresponder? An autoresponder is an automated email sequence. So if you join my email list tonight, you're going to get an email automatically. I ain't sending it. It ain't me. It's a computer software program that does that for me, and it sets it up. And then tomorrow, you're going to get another one, right? Then you're going to get another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. That's an autoresponder. It automatically responds to people who set up your email list. This is where the freedom comes from. This is where passive income comes from. This is where all those cool things that you hear about that online marketers get to do, like, hey, I get to make money 24/7. It's because of email automation, email autoresponders. My favorite moment ever for making money from my email autoresponder was a few years ago when we first quit our jobs. It was probably the second year we'd quit our jobs. It might have been it might have been 2015. Maybe it was 2014. I can't remember exactly. But Jocelyn and I went to the SEC tournament because Kentucky was really good at basketball that year. We lost a terrible game the other night against Evansville. I don't want to talk about it. It's going to depress me, and I'm going to derail, and I may just shut the whole webinar off. But we were good this year. We were beating everybody. We were beating the people we were supposed to be, and nobody was supposed to beat us, right? So we were at the SEC tournament, and before we left, I said, hey, I'm going to set up some emails for this weekend. I want to set up an autoresponder sequence so that anybody that's on our list, anybody that's opting into our list this week, I want them to get all these sales emails because I want to make money while we're at the SEC tournament. I want to make some of that passive income, right? Like we're going to be playing and people are going to be on our list and we're going to make money while we're playing. Like that's what it's all about, right? I'm not trading time for dollars. I'm using the software and the technology to make money for me and to work for me when I'm not working, right? So I set up this little sequence over the weekend. It was like 2 emails a day over 3 days. And we went to the SEC tournament so we could watch the tournament. So we're sitting there at halftime. We're killing Arkansas. Kentucky is beating them to death, right? I'm on cloud 9. We're loving it. The crowd is 90% Kentucky people. It's all blue. We're go Big Blue. We're blue, white. We're doing all the chants. We're singing the fight song, and it's halftime. We're killing everybody. So everybody kind of gets up and leaves, and our section just clears out, right? And I'm sitting there, and I put my feet over the chair in front of me, and I put my arms out like this because nobody's in there anymore. And we just got like all these empty seats. And I get my phone out and I look at it and I'm going to see if we made any sales, right? And I looked at it, and during the first half, we had made like 2 or 3 sales. We had made over $460 in the first half while we were at a ball game beating Arkansas to death in the SEC tournament. And I said, and it happened during the first half, and it all was from these email autoresponders that we had set up, right? And I was like, this is crazy. Like, how does this even happen? Like, I worked earlier that week. I scheduled this stuff and let it ride, and the email marketing did the rest and made sales for me while I lived my life, while I enjoyed my favorite sports team, while I enjoyed the SEC tournament with my wife and my best friend and his wife, right? And that's what it's all about. That's what email autoresponders do. You can automate your sales process. You don't have to be sitting there at all times with everybody. You can use technology to send these emails for you. People have their phones with them all the time. I got mine right here. I'm actually doing a training and I'm sitting here holding my phone, right? It's sitting right beside me. I bet you can reach over and grab your phone right now. Do it, right? Reach over and grab your phone. Just reach over. I bet everybody here can reach out and grab their telephone. Well, guess what? Everybody's got their phone on them all the time, and everybody's got their email inbox on their phone, which means you have direct access to all of your customers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as long as they're awake, right? So that's the power of batching. That's the power of automation. That's the power of autoresponders, right? If you have an audience and you get them to join your list, you can send these autoresponders out, and you can sit down on a Monday like I did this week, and you can schedule out all your emails for the rest of the week so that you can go out to lunch with your wife, so that you can hang out with your spouse, so that you can go pick up your kids and you can do all that. Last week, Jocelyn and I went to New York City on a couples trip. We just wanted to take a trip, love the kids with the grandparents, and we wanted to get away for a little while and just have some fun and relax with some friends of ours. One night we went to a jazz club in my favorite place in the whole city. It's called Dizzy's, and it's got this amazing view of New York City over Central Park. On the next night, we went to the Comedy Cellar, and we watched a taping of a live comedy club, this taping of this comedian he was doing for Comedy Central, right? On the next day, we went to Madison Square Garden, and we watched Kentucky play Michigan State. And then the last night, we went and we watched Wicked, the play, where the Wicked Witch of the West, right? It was awesome. That was probably, besides the Madison Square Garden game, that was probably my favorite part of New York City. But before we left, right, for New York City, we left on a Sunday. We had just come from Nashville. Our daughter had a cheerleading competition. On Thursday, I just sat down for about an hour and I wrote out an autoresponder sequence. And I wrote emails, and they automatically dripped out over the next week so that I could go enjoy my life, right? I batched all my work in one place, and then I went and lived. And that's what email marketing could do for you. That's what autoresponders are all about, right? So strategy number 1, build an audience. We do that with content, right? You got it. If you don't know how to make content, I'll have to help you on that later, okay? Number 2, Autoresponders. You got to set up the technology. You got to automate this stuff. Like this email marketing buys your freedom back because you can batch all of your work ahead of time. Okay. All right. And strategy number 3, right? Strategy number 3, you've got to be audacious. You have to be audacious when you're an email marketer. You can't be a passive email marketer. You can't be a polite email marketer. You can't be a play it safe email marketer. You have to be audacious with your emails. You got to go out and you have to email people consistently and constantly, right? You've got to send these emails out to people as much as possible. I email my list almost every single day, right? Something is going out to a segment on my list all the time. I think I sent like 4 emails today. Some of you probably got all of them, right? That's just the way it is. I send a lot of emails. You got to go out and you got to be in people's face. You got to close the sale you got to squeeze the time from, I found your website, discovery, all the way down to purchase. You got to get them into your system fast. If you don't have an audacious mentality, if you want to be a play it safe mentality, then you're not going to have successful email marketing. All right. So here's some tactics that you can use. Number 1, you need a long-term nurture sequence, right? We have an autoresponder. It's 7 emails. As soon as you sign up for our email list, you're going to get those 7 emails over the next 7 days for most of our opt-ins, right? But after you come out of our initial 7 email autoresponder sequence, you're going to go into our long-term nurture sequence. We send emails out for this long-term nurture. We got one every week. Every single week that's coming out over like 52 weeks, right? When Jocelyn set this up for Elementary Librarian, she set one every other week. And we just relentlessly kept the flow of stuff coming. It was value. We were giving a lot of value. We were helping people. We were giving them things they needed. We were sharing resources with them, but we were offering things to buy as well. We were pitching, right? We were audacious. I try to pitch in every email, at least in the PS. Okay. So you have to have a long-term nurture sequence set up so you can say, hey, even if I get busy this week, the kids are running one way, work is crazy, this, that, or the other. I know that I've got an automated long-term nurture sequence going out and sending stuff to these people. You've got to get into almost daily emailing your list, right? You may not email everybody, but you've got to not be afraid and you've got to not be shy. And you don't need to listen to all these gurus and experts who are like, oh, be careful, honey. Only send 1 email a week, or maybe 1 every 2 weeks. You might make someone mad and they may unsubscribe. Listen, I don't care if you unsubscribe. I'm an email marketer. I'm here to market things. I'm here to make sales. That's what we're going for, right? So guess what? I'm going to be asking you to buy stuff. You know why? Because my stuff's good. And if you pay for it, you're going to get results. So you need to buy my stuff. You don't need to look at the other guy's stuff. You need to look at my stuff. You got to be audacious. You got to be in their face. You got to make them buy or unsubscribe. Lukewarm, spit them out, right? You have to be audacious. This is the biggest mistake that I see people make with their marketing. They're not audacious enough. They're not in their customer's face enough. They're not out there emailing people and saying, look at all this amazing stuff I have for you if you would just buy it, right? Hey, think about commercials, right? Think about the most successful companies on earth. Think about Apple. They're in your face with marketing. We were in Times Square the other day, and they've probably spent $10 million on billboards in Times Square. Think about commercials, right? You think Coke and Pepsi are shy? No, they're in your face every commercial, every other second. Think about the things that are appearing in your news feed, right? The biggest, most successful companies are audacious. They have something to sell. They have products that can help you solve your problems. And they are not afraid to put those in front of you. And you've got to do the exact same thing with your email marketing, okay? So if you got any questions, keep them coming. I see 3 questions in the Q&A box right now. Going to be getting to Q&As in just a second, but I want to review a little bit. And then I want to talk about some of the most common questions that we get as well. So number 1, all right, was audience, right? You got to be able to build an audience. You need strategies that work. And you need to know how to actually go out and build an audience, right? You got to get some traffic. You got to get people to discover you before they join your email list, okay? Number 2, you've got to learn how to use autoresponders. You've got to learn copywriting. You've got to be able to go in and write these emails that are going to get results, or you're not going to be able to make money 24/7, 365, right? Might as well have a 9 to 5. You got to be able to get your autoresponders churning, and you got to be audacious. You got to stop being shy. You got to stop getting your feelings hurt. Someone told me today in the community, someone unsubscribed from my list, and it was a bit devastating. And I was like, that's not devastating. That's good. They self-selected out. You now know that was not your target customer, and you don't have to pay for them to be on your list. Bye, Felicia. Like, they're gone. That's fine. It's okay. Go get more people that are your perfect customer onto your list, and then be audacious. Get in their face. Go after them with your email marketing, okay? All right, y'all, that is all the time we have for today's Flipped Lifestyle Podcast. Thank you so much for listening to today's show. I hope that I helped you overcome some mindset challenges. I hope I helped you break through some fears. I hope that I helped you leap over some obstacles that are holding you back from your online dream. It is our mission here at Flipped Lifestyle to help as many families as possible find the freedom that we have through online business and membership websites. We would love to help you take your next steps toward building a better future for your family by giving you 100% free access to our entire training program, the Flipped Lifestyle Blueprint. This is the exact step-by-step process that we use to start, build, and grow our own online business, create stable, predictable income, quit our full-time jobs, and become and stay self-employed. The Flipped Lifestyle Blueprint will help you find your idea, research that idea to make sure it can make money online, create your product, and launch your membership site into the world. We've helped thousands of people through the Flipped Lifestyle Blueprint, and we believe we can help you and your family too. To get 100% free access to the Flipped Lifestyle Blueprint, all you have to do is go to flippedlifestyle.com/free. That's FLIPPED, lifestyle.com/FREE. Fill out a short information form and you will have access today. This is not a starter kit. This is the entire Flipped Lifestyle Blueprint, and it is designed to help you start, build, launch, and grow your membership from scratch. There are people out there charging thousands of dollars for similar programs, but you can get the entire Flipped Lifestyle Blueprint for free today. Hey, thanks again for listening to today's episode of the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast. Can't wait to come back into your earbuds again next time. Until then, get out there, take action, and do whatever it takes to flip your life. We'll see you then.